now, don't panic. Get your old shoulder behind it. That's better. And keep your balance on your front foot now. Right, now you're getting the hang of it. Now, what were we talking about?
Stone of cargoes.
Some people call it a science.
Ouch.
Come on, keep your guard up now. But me, I call it an art. Now, take bales of wool, for instance.
Roll up wool bales, cotton.
Have a care.
I've just come from the exchange. Now, Blackpool starts loading tomorrow. Cotton good for the West Indies.
What have you got from Marston?
Well, now, I thought a couple of weeks in the sun would do you a world of good.
Well, if it's all the same to you, I'd rather be done good to on a sailing ship.
Now, listen, I want you to put that steam tub through her paces. See what she'll do.
Well, she'll eat coal for certain. Now, why don't you sell the damn thing and buy yourself a three-master?
I didn't bring her all the way home just to sell her.
You never did tell me how much you ended up paying Seth Burgess for her.
Now, listen, lad. You still a notion to become a master?
I sir, given a chance.
How would you like to sign indentures?
Ship as an apprentice.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't afford it. Where would I find a premium of £50?
Well, now,
forget about the premium.
Now, look, I was...
Let the boy get a word in
Sir,
edgewise.
even for getting the premium, I couldn't afford the uniform. An apprentice has got to sail brass band, hasn't he?
And find 2 men of substance to stand surety. So, Captain Baines and myself. I think we can persuade the Oneida lad to forget about the £50 premium, so all we have to worry about is the uniform.
You're gonna make me apprentice? Captain Baines, I can't believe it. You, Mr. Oneida, you're about the best man I ever met.
Yes, well, enough of that. Let's get you kitted out.
I'll see you later, Captain Baines.
All right.
There we are. Every inch a young officer. What do you think, Letty, eh?
Oh, very smart indeed. Do you know, I do believe I could be looking at a future captain of the Oneida line.
I'll get my master's ticket before I'm 21. And that's a promise, missus. Look, I don't want to say about all this. I only hope I can repay in some way.
Well, you can. By always remembering where your first loyalty lies.
With you, sir.
No, the Oneidan Company comes first and foremost. Now, when you sail under the Oneidan flag, you represent that company wherever you may be.
I'll remember that, sir.
Good morning, Captain Baines.
Morning, Mum.
Well, now, what do you think, eh?
Sharp as a new pin.
And there's also a pair of shoes and there's 2 new jerseys.
Aye. Well, I reckon it's about time that I added my 2 penneth. There. And that'll last you a deal longer than them clothes.
Sexton? Oh, thanks, Captain Baines.
Can I see, Tom? Oh, it's beautiful.
That must have set you back a bit, eh?
Oh, it did.
Well, you had no need to. I had it in mind to buy one later.
Well, I've done it now. There's no harm in that, is there?
It's a lovely present, Captain Baines. James, I must hurry. I've got one of my mothers arriving at 2.
Well, all right. Then you better take carriage.
Captain Baines?
Right, then, Baines, come up to the office. You can get your orders there.
Right.
Sign on the crew later. So, young lad, your last day as a cabin boy. So you get clearing this lot up.
Will I be sailing with Captain Baines, sir?
You will. Come on, Letty.
Now, just remember, you're an officer now, and the ship's in your charge. Take a turn round the deck every now and then, inspect the warps, and just see that nobody comes aboard that shouldn't.
Aye, aye, sir.
Aye. Coming!
God help us.
Oh, Mr. Dunwoody, have we had in the Murchison line figures for the last quarter?
I'm afraid I wouldn't know, my lady.
Charles. Oh, I thought you'd quite deserted me. I haven't seen you in nearly a week.
That's because I've been working like a beaver on our behalf.
Oh?
Yes, I'm afraid Mother and Father are putting up far more opposition to our marriage than I anticipated.
Well, I did warn you.
And I did promise you that I wouldn't accept no for an answer. Never fear, I'll wear them down in time.
But if you've been battering on their door for the last 7 days...
I haven't. I've been to London most of the week. I thought it high time I saw your husband.
What?
And I did, from the gallery of the House of Commons. handsome man. A most impressive speaker.
Yes, he is.
Never a bad thing to weigh up the opposition.
Is that the only reason you went to London?
No, I thought to get some advice from our family solicitors about your divorce.
Without consulting me first.
It was just a quiet man-to-man discussion, that's all.
Man to man about my private life. Really, Charles, you go too far.
Elizabeth, no names were mentioned. However, it does seem that the simplest course would be for you to obtain fresh evidence. Now, there are several firms who specialize in this sort of thing.
Put someone to spy on Daniel? No, never.
It's quite a commonplace procedure, Elizabeth.
I don't care. I won't do it. If Daniel and I are to get divorced, then he and I will discuss it. Man to man. But I will not have this decision made for me, Charles. And I find the very thought of parading my private life before solicitors distasteful.
Yes, Elizabeth, I agree. But we cannot marry until you are divorced.
I'm so sorry to have kept you waiting, Mrs. Jenkins.
Miss Jenkins, but Nellie will do.
Thank you, Mrs. Gibson. Please, do sit down.
Thank you.
Well, I expect you've come to inquire about your daughter.
That's right.
Well, little Emily's a very bright child. And though she's only been at the home for less than a month, she seems to have settled down very well.
Oh, that's nice. I'm glad she weren't no trouble. Now, I want to take her out.
Well, I'm afraid it's not quite as simple as that, Miss
I
Jenkins.
told you, call me Nellie. Listen, I don't see no difficulty. I put her in, I take her out. I mean, I'm her legal mother. I've got a paper to prove it.
Yes, but if you remember, you also signed a paper relinquishing any parental rights until Emily came of age, or until we felt that your way of life had changed for the better.
Well, of course it's changed for the better. That's why I'm here. Listen, I'm not walking streets no more. I'm being kept in style. I've got a real smart gent what's
Yes,
took a
well,
fancy
that's
to
not
me.
really
It's
the
not
change
obvious.
that we had in mind, Nellie.
Oh, you mean my still being on the game? Well, I don't have much choice, do I? It's that or tuppence an hour in a sweatshop.
There are other alternatives.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God. My head's coming off. You don't happen to have a drop of spirits in the house, do you?
Yes.
Then I'll have a nog in a mother's ruin, please, dear.
You're not well?
Had a bit of a party last night. My Lenny's good to me. None better. When it comes to booze, he don't know where to stop.
Then I am sure, Nellie, you must see that we cannot possibly release Emily into your custody.
Oh, no, I don't see nothing at sort. She's my kid and I'm entitled.
I'm sorry.
All right. I'll buy her back. How much? It's not a question of money. I mean, it's not enough. Well, there's plenty more where that come from. My Lenny's a very generous-hearted man. What's more, he loves kids. He's got 3 of his own.
Nellie, tell me one thing. Is there any chance of you regularizing this union?
Regulise?
Yes.
No, I should think not. My Lenny's a family man with responsibilities.
Well, then I'm afraid I can hold out no hope. Emily must remain with us. Well, you must see that it's in the child's best interest.
I don't see no such thing. Well, I got comfortable circumstances and she'll be treated like a little princess. Well, I tell you what I'll do. If I fall on hard times again, I'll bring her right back. That's a promise.
I'm afraid we don't run the home in that way, Nellie. Our first and only consideration is the moral welfare of the children in our charge.
Moral welfare? You wait till you have a kid of your own before you talk to me of moral welfare. If I don't get my kid back, there'll be trouble, that I can promise you.
I'm not impressed by threats, real or imagined.
There's nothing imagined about this one. I'll get my kid back one way or another.
Good day to you, Miss Jenkins.
I'll show you out.
No thanks, I'll show myself out.
Indeed, you won't.
Can't stop that tow road. Aye, aye, sir. Mr. Jarvis, put Albert on the wheel and come below, if you please.
Aye, aye, sir.
Now, once we've rounded the south stack, we'll lay a course for... Well, well. Sleeping Beauty is awake. Don't you think you've had enough of that?
You come any close and I'll smash
Do
this over.
what? Don't be a fool, man.
Should have thrown the little tag overboard like I said.
He's a hard man, is Mr. Jarvis. You'd best watch your step.
Yeah, well, you best watch yours, haven't you, Captain Burgess? Because Mr. Needham won't take kindly to your stealing his ship.
Stealing? You watch your tongue or I'll wash your mouth out. This ship is mine. O'Neill did me down, so now he can pay for his sharp practice.
You got papers to prove it's yours, then?
I've got right on my side. I don't need papers, lad.
Don't waste your breath talking to the lad. Throw him over the side like I said, and I'm done.
No. We're short-handed as it is. He'll do as both cabin boy and cook.
Cabin boy? I'm an officer now. I'm an apprentice. I've got indentures.
You're cabin boy and cook.
No, I'm not going to do it.
Here, let me.
No, Mr. Jarvis, not yet. We'll let him think about it for a while. See whether pride or common sense prevails. Report to me in an hour, lad. And for your information, we'll be in deep water by then. Very deep. Bring the chart, Mr. Jarvis.
Seth Burgess. Ah, damn well knew it.
Well, that's what I reckon.
Broad daylight and no one thought to chapin Jim.
Well, a tug come along and took him in tow. It's a common enough sight, man.
You'll have rounded the South Stackby now. You're off like a scolded cat.
Once through the St. George's Channel, we'll be right out in the open sea.
Probably changed the name of the ship now. Sailing under false colours.
Coal. Now, he'll need to top up somewhere. Those bunkers are only half full.
He'll keep out of the European ports. He wouldn't be fool enough to go through the Straits again, would he?
Oh, he'll make for the Cape Verdes.
Half full bunkers, eh? I could just be within his range.
James, I've just realised that boy Tom must still be on board.
Aye.
He's a sharp enough lad. He can take care of himself, ma'am.
You sure?
Yes.
Yes, he'll be all right, ma'am.
Right, 4 hours start, you say. Is the Sir and Larson ready yet?
Aye, midday.
Good.
James, you're surely not thinking of going after him?
Of course I am.
Well, before you know it, you'll be spending half your life chasing that man. Leave it be.
Huh?
You've got Charlotte back. Oh, for heaven's sake, let him have the ship and let the matter rest.
You think I'm going to allow a man like Seth Burgess to steal my ship and get away with it?
Pride. That's all it is, pride. If the truth were known, you don't care about that ship. You just can't afford to be bested.
Now, you listen, Letty. You take care of your business, let me take care of mine. Right, come along.
Right.
See, you've changed your uniform. Galley swab's a bit of a come down from being an apprentice, eh?
That don't matter. Anyway, there's pickings down the galley. I never yet set eyes on a fat apprentice.
Pickings, you keep your daffs to yourself. You'll work for your keep on this ship, and you'll work damned hard.
Of course I will, Mr. Jarvis. Now then, gentlemen, is that tea to your liking? Because if it ain't, I'll go down and I'll brew up afresh.
You seem to have changed sides mighty quick, young Tom.
Well, I've been having a think. What I reckon is it's no skin off my nose what master I serve. Yeah, especially if I can count on getting a share.
Share. Cheeky young
Well, I'm one of the crew now, aren't I?
You'll get your share, you have my word on it. Now, back to your galley.
Share. You mean?
I mean it. He won't get much, but if he's in as deep as us, it'll help keep him quiet.
Enter.
Samuel.
Mr. O'Neill. Delighted to see you, my boy.
How do you do, Mr. Doyle? I was just passing. Thought I'd look in.
Tomorrow, you must come and see the opening of the 2 orphans. With my compliments.
Oh, thank you very much.
Did you know the management literally begged us to come back here to the pavilion?
Well, you were a great success last time.
Oh, capacity houses, my boy. Yes. But wait till you see the knife fight I've devised for the last act. In Manchester, they were fainting in the aisles. Watch. I lunge at Pierre. He parries.
Father, I don't think Mr. O'Neill called to hear a blow-by-blow account of the plot.
Oh, I see. Yes. Cue for exit. Your obedient servant, sir. And my regards to your charming mother.
Just happened to be passing. Indeed.
How long are you in Liverpool this time?
The engagement is for a month.
Where do you go after that?
At the moment, nowhere. Ours is a precarious profession.
No, Helen, you need have no fears for the future.
But I haven't. I've lived all my life like this. I take each day as it comes and accept what it brings. Your wife's back, living with you again.
My wife and I are living in the same house, but that is all.
In time you will forgive her.
No, that I shall never do. I intend to marry you.
I believe that in Arabia, a man can walk around his tent 3 times, crying out that he puts his wife aside and the deed is done. But I don't think that that somehow would be acceptable in Liverpool.
Helen, I'm being serious.
And I dare not be, because I know in my heart what you propose can never happen.
Oh, but it can. At this very moment, I'm trying to trace 2 of the crew from the Black Pearl. I'm told they're in Liverpool. Now, if I can get sworn statements from them... Well, do you see? Our marriage is possible.
Oh, why did I ever meet you, Samuel O'Needham? No, Samuel. Seeing you again, I could easily let slip the reins of my emotions. Please go. But let me see you tomorrow.
Until tomorrow, then. Evening, Charlotte.
Ah, the wanderer returns. And who is waiting up for him but his dutiful wife?
You've been drinking.
Yes, it helps to dull the pain, or doesn't it?
I'm going to bed.
To dream sweet dreams of Helen, no doubt.
What did you say?
Isn't that the name of this actress? Your mistress?
Helen is not my mistress. I thank you not even to talk about her.
Oh, I see. What's she like? This lady fair of yours. Compliant, is she? That's what actresses are noted for. Being compliant.
Charlotte, I've never struck you before, but if you continue in this vein...
Go on, then!
Charlotte, this argument is serving no purpose.
At least you're talking to me. Samuel, I know what I did was wrong. I know I hurt you dreadfully, and it may take you a long time to forgive me. But if you will only try, I promise to be your dutiful wife until the day I die.
Charlotte, can you not understand that it's too late for any reconciliation?
Well, if you feel that, then why did you take me back?
Out of pity.
But you took me back. And if you have any thoughts in your head about divorce, Samuel, then I advise you to forget them. For I shall never let you go. Ever.
Reeling off the nuts. We'll be barking on his heels in a couple of days.
So if he really is making for the Cape Verds.
Well, I don't reckon there's anywhere else he can make for if he's gonna fill up with coal.
Look, I don't want Burgess to spot us first, so you keep an extra man up there. First puff of smoke, you let me know.
Don't worry, I've already got a man up there. It's young Tom I'm worried about. He could be feeding the fishes by now.
Like as not, he's got the shirts off their backs by now, playing Found the Lady, eh?
Sell her in South America. I reckon the plate to be our best bet.
And if we can't find a buyer?
Trade along the coast until we do.
Risky business. O'Needham will be scouring the ocean looking for us.
If he ever comes within hailing distance, I'll ram him.
Hey, you. Standing there with your ears flapping. Take a round turn in your tongue. Understand me, boy?
Trust me, sir. As long as I get my share, I hear nothing and see nothing. You like more coffee?
Well, we'll not make the crossing unless we chop up with coal.
If I have O'Needham's measure, that is exactly what he will be counting on. No, we keep enough reserves to steam through the doldrums and then proceed under sail.
You mean not stop at Cape Verdes?
That's right.
It'll be a slow passage. She's very unhandy under canvas.
I'm in no hurry.
We're liable to run short of stores. The hands have been feeding like pigs at a trough.
Then they'll have to go on short commons, won't they? Starting now. See to it, Mr. Jarvis. All hands on pound and pint until further notice. Hear that, young lad? From now on, you tighten your belt.
All right, sir.
And what do you think you're doing?
I was just straightening the canvas, Mr. Jarvis.
That's a seaman's job. Get back to the galley.
All right, sir.
Charles, you're becoming quite intolerable.
Me? Surely not.
You greet me with the fact that you have wonderful news, and then you resolutely refuse to mention it all evening.
I had no wish to ruin an excellent dinner.
So the news is bad.
On the contrary, I simply meant our food would have grown cold whilst we talked. And now I think I've teased you long enough.
Quite long enough?
Very well, I shall come straight to the point. After great endeavor, I've finally persuaded Mother to accept the fact that you and I are going to be married.
Oh, Charles, what did you do? Hold a pistol at her head?
No, I was just gently persistent.
At which you are quite adept.
Although she'd never admit it. At heart, Mother is something of a romantic.
But what about your father?
Ah, not a great deal of progress, I'm afraid. Up until now. But from this point on, I shall have Mother as an ally.
Does she have so much influence over him?
You'll be pleased to hear that the Marsden women always influence their menfolk. From this point on, Mother and I will wear him down. It's just a matter of time.
Charles, I wish I could share your confidence.
Perhaps if you took some positive action.
Daniel, you mean?
Did you come to any decision?
Charles, I've tried. The number of letters I've begun. I don't know. I just can't seem to find the courage.
You said you could only tell him face to face, remember? Would it help if you met him?
You must give me a little more time. Just a little more time.
But of course. You know, I think if Father knew that you were definitely going to divorce Daniel, it could well influence his thinking.
Charles, could we please just change the subject?
Now, what about the money? 10 guineas, she said.
Yes, you'll get paid after you've signed the document.
Well, what about her? Don't she get none?
Oh, all right, I'll pay her. And make sure they're both sober.
Samuel,
Well, you remember old Higgins, don't you, missy? Never thought to see me again, I'll warrant. Well, let me tell you something, Miss High and Mighty. Old Higgins is gonna cook your goose.
Samuel, get them out of here.
There she goes again, still giving her orders. I reckon you did Captain Burgess a favor.
You ordered our course.
Aye, a couple of points.
Why, it's wind shifting?
Look, Banks, I've been a fool. I've been working under the assumption that Burgess has to stop off for coal at the Cape Verdes.
Coal?
No. If I were in his shoes when I ran out of coal, I'd carry on under sail.
But in that case, he could be heading anywhere. Are you saying that we're on a wild goose chase?
No. I'd make for South America, around the Horn, and into the Pacific.
The small amount of sail he's carrying, we could head him off anywhere.
Yeah, they say fish pie's good for the brain. I think I'll have some.
Pacific, I reckon. Buy a small steamer. Straight around the islands. Do well. Plenty of trade in copra. Maybe do the odd bit of pearling. Could go back to that lagoon.
What the hell?
Engine room. Come on. Engines are seizing up. Jack, what up? Pressure's building. Quick, safety valve. That damn boy put sand in the bearing.
Where is he? I'll kill the little swine.
Good morning, Mr. Dunwoody.
Good morning, my lady. I trust that I am one of the first to offer you my congratulations.
Congratulations. Concerning what, Dunwoody?
Why? Sir Daniel's appointment, of course. If I may say so, the government must think very highly of him in choosing him for such a post. My lady, have you not heard? I felt sure that Sir
There
Daniel...
was a letter. I put it aside.
Under the headline, A Wise Choice.
Following the death of critical and delicate situation between the two countries, your correspondent can now announce that the post of Ambassador Extraordinary to Turkey has
Finally been offered to Sir Daniel Fogarty.
my word. Well done, Daniel.
Indeed, yes. A great advancement in his political career. And, of course, his appointment also reflects great credit upon yourself.
Me? Oh, I hardly think so, Mr. Dunwoody.
Naturally, you will be expected to accompany Sir Daniel.
No, that'll be quite out of the question.
My lady, as the wife of one of Her Majesty's plenipotentiaries, it is your duty to be at his side, act as his hostess.
I'm
assist-
not going.
If it's a question of managing the business, I can assure
Mr.
you that...
Dunwoody, the subject is closed.
America?
Yes. I've given the matter a great deal of thought, and in my humble opinion, if the Turks' revenge is to succeed, it would stand a far better chance with a more cosmopolitan audience.
Now, why didn't I think of that myself? There speaks a woman of perspicacity and sound judgment. Of course. America it must be, and I promise you, dear lady, you will have no cause to regret your decision. The Turks' revenge will pack the theatres like herrings in a barrel, and most important of all, show you a handsome profit.
Oh, I shall be quite content with a quite modest return, Mr. Doyle. Your daughter will be travelling with you, I presume.
Of course, of course. Oh, she'll captivate them over there.
I'm sure she will. Now, what are your estimates as to the cost of this production?
Ah, now, that depends, you see. I mean, there's the cost of scenery, costumes, emoluments for the company, and travelling expenses. All that will come to a tidy sum.
Mm. And you'd be wise, no doubt, to have a little in hand for unforeseen circumstances.
What a keen financial brain you have, Mrs. O'Naden.
Shall we say £1,500?
Oh.
Not a penny more.
We shall make ends meet, dear lady, never fear. I shall start rehearsing the company tomorrow.
And you'll be ready to travel within the month?
The moment our engagement here ends, we shall set sail and conquer America.
Splendid. And I shall be at the quay to wave you bon voyage and hand over this cheque.
It's about time for a sight. So I won't remember it all.
I'm off now.
Will you be in to dinner?
No, I think not.
Very well. Do you wish me to wait up for you, Samuel?
No, I might be late. Your hair?
Do you like it?
Different. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
I can't. This is something you'll have to decide for yourself.
I had thought that if anybody could give me sound advice, it would be you.
Then you were wrong. That you could even consider divorcing Daniel. Now, of all times, in order to marry this Viscount Marston, the idea just appalls me.
We cannot govern our hearts, Letty.
Elizabeth, you're talking like a schoolgirl, not like a grown woman. You should have stopped seeing this man months ago, as well you know, but you chose not to. And now what you really want me to say is divorce Daniel. Well, that is one piece of advice I cannot and will not give.
Very well. As you seem determined not to consider my feelings, I think I'd best go.
Well, if you have no stomach for honest home truths, then yes, you had better go. But before you do, let me ask you one thing. You put Daniel aside because he deceived you once. How many times have you deceived him? Not by deed, but by thought? I'm sorry, Elizabeth. I shouldn't have said that. I had no right.
You don't hit out often, Letty. But when you do...
I know. I know.
America? When?
In a few weeks.
But you can't go.
Samuel, I must.
Why?
Father has been given a chance to put on his play there. He won't go without me. And as it's the only opportunity he's ever going to have, I can't deny him.
Helen, I've found the witnesses. I can obtain a divorce. We can be married.
You are married. With children. Real life is not like the theatre.
Helen, I'll not let it end like this.
It has to.
What's keeping? Oh, it's you, kind sir. The company is assembled on stage. We'll wait.
I must...
No. Listen. I took the decision to divorce Charlotte long before I ever met you. And that decision has not altered, and nor will it. If you go to America, I shall follow. Wherever you go, I'll find you.
Helen!
And always remember that I love you.
Didn't make it out yet.
She could be a small lugger. She's got a sail set.
She's flying the Oneida flag.
Can't be.
She is. She damn well is. It's the old Tom. Hey!
Sand in the bearings. 3 days and nights alone at sea. You're the luckiest young whelp unhung.
You did very well, young Tom. Now then, all we have to do is to find the Black Pearl.
I know exactly where she is. Or was. I nicked their chart. Now look. Now that's where she was, and it's going to take some time to repair her.
Well, she's got a hole up somewhere. I reckon she'll make for that island there.
Right, Baines. Put us on that course. I think we've got it.
Aye.
I never for one moment would have suspected Mother of such base treachery.
She probably thought she was acting for the best.
Oh, aye. What was best for her? She'd rather try to ruin my happiness than run the risk of being touched by so much as a breath of scandal. So now, having done the deed, she's disappeared off to Brighton again. I'll tell you this, Aunt Letty,
No,
I'm...
Samuel, don't tell me any more. Not a word. I am sick and tired of every member of this family crying on my shoulder. You got yourself into this situation. Now sort yourself out. Don't come bleating to me. Do you imagine I don't have problems of my own? But do I come to you with them? Or Sarah? Or Elizabeth? No. What on...
Is the children's home? It's on fire! Oh, my God!
I need him. Well, he'll not take us without a fight. Best arm yourselves, lads.
Not me.
What?
They're outnumbered 2 to 1.
We've got him trapped. He ain't going anywhere now.
You mean to say you're not going to fight?
That's right. I'm not getting my head bashed in for nothing. It's your ship. You won her. You fight for her. Come on, lads.
You lily-livered sons of sea cooks. All right. I'll fight for her on my own. Come on, Anidin. What are you waiting for?
Given up. You've left him. South Burgess, you come across peaceable. Then no one need get hurt.
No! You want her, you come and get her. You hear me, Anidin? You want the Black Pearl? You'll have to kill me first.
Stupid fool. He means it. Fancy caring that much about a steamer.
You can take him easy. And no one need get hurt.
Up anchor, Captain Baines.
What?
We'll leave him be.
Homeward Bound? You really mean that?
Aye.
Do you mean to say that we've come all this way just so you can have the pleasure of letting him go? It just don't make sense.
Just to me.
Couldn't be because he really cares for that ship of his, could it?
Hey? Luke, she's no rust bucket. That engine would need a fortune spending on it. Just not worth it.
That's your story, is it?
Luke, if you're not going to get the ship underway, well, suppose I'd better do it myself.
And is this one of the ships which is going to take our railway on to Chile?
Possibly. If you wish, my lord, we can continue talking business. Or we can proceed to the real reason for your visit.
If there's one quality I admire in a woman, it's directness.
Perhaps a brandy might help ease the way.
The second being foresight. I suppose you realize that Charles and his mother are making my life a confounded misery. They never let up.
You're surely not expecting sympathy.
Damn me, I like you, Ron. If I was in Charles's position, I'd... Well, let me say that I appreciate his reasons for wanting to fight me. And that's what it's going to come down to, you know. A fight.
You're not prepared to give way.
Nope. And if I judge my son aright, he's not prepared to give way either. I had hoped that your husband's appointment might provide a solution. You will go with him, won't you?
Oh, you're a clever man, my lord. I rather thought you might have had some hand in that.
Drop the usual hint. But you haven't answered my question, my dear.
No doubt you came here determined to convince me why I shouldn't marry Charles.
You keep a good brandy. Convince you, I hope I can. Stewardship, do you see? That's Charles's whole purpose in life. We none of us own anything, really. Are all stewards, good or bad? Well, you take this Fraser line. You could have sold that profitably years ago, correct?
Correct.
But it means something to you, don't it?
Yes, it does.
And if they would ask you to explain it, you'd find it difficult, huh?
Possibly, but it wouldn't stop me trying.
Very well, then. My great-great-grandfather, just see, was a blacksmith. He had a talent in his hands and a head on his shoulders, and he ended up owning a small foundry. And his son took over that foundry, and he built on it, and he ended up by being one of the ironmasters. And when he died, his son bought a couple of coal mines. And the title. Do you see the pattern of stewardship emerging?
And I don't fit into that pattern. Not even with my shipping line.
I only wish you did.
I suppose I should take it as a compliment that you're being so brutally honest.
You're not the sort of woman to be fobbed off with half-truths.
I take it you have put all this to Charles.
Oh, yeah. He knows what's required of him. Matter of duty.
And what of his personal happiness?
I'm afraid that doesn't enter into it.
And what if Charles and I choose to disregard your advice? Or should I say your orders?
Then, most reluctantly, I shall be obliged to see that your husband's proposed appointment is not confirmed. It isn't my power, I assure you.
You'd stoop to blackmail.
Yes. It's not a role I enjoy playing, but if I'm forced to play it, I shall play it to the hilt. I will not sacrifice 150 years of endeavor. The choice is up to you, my dear.
A choice that can only cause suffering.
I know. I only wish I could take some of the pain with me.
You'll do just fine, young'un.
Bit scared, really. Does Mr. Needham live in a big house?
Aye, a big empty house.
Oh, he said I could sleep in a room all on my own.
Now, don't you go getting into trouble this weekend. Just you mind your P's and Q's, and don't you let me down.
I won't, Captain.
Right, young man. Hold on. Carriage is waiting.
I've never ridden a carriage before.
See you in a couple of days, Baines.
Aye.
It's posh, isn't it?
In this neighborhood, secluded is the accepted expression.
Secluded?
It means peaceful, tranquil. What the devil?
Got you. James. Oh, I'm so glad you're back. Safe and sound.
What's all this? Whose are all these children?
Ours.
Ours?
Well, for the time being. The orphanage burnt down and... Oh, I've got so much to tell you.
Was anybody hurt?
Not a soul. The police say the fire was started deliberately, but I find that hard to believe.
Well, have they caught the culprit yet?
No, and I doubt that they ever will.
Listen, Letty, you could have been in that house, you
Well,
know.
I wasn't, so don't fuss. James, I've got some news. Daniel has been made an ambassador.
Oh, yes, right.
And Elizabeth has gone to Turkey with him.
Look, Letty, let me
Samuel-
just get in there and sat down, eh? Right.
Oh, if this goes on for much longer, I shall be leaving.
I don't blame you. Here, how many more children have you got in the house?
22 at the moment, but there's 5 more to come.
Oh, no, they are not.
James, they must stay somewhere.
Not in my home. Now, listen, Letty. I was against this damn fool idea right from the start. Now, if you think that you're going to turn my home into an orphanage for the brats of Liverpool horses and other things coming...
James, I'm not turning them out till I find somewhere else for them to stay.
Well, then, send them back from wherever they come from.
You're being unreasonable.
I reckon I've been far too reasonable for far too long. Now, look, there's stables out there. Put them up in there.
I will not.
Right? Hold on, Tom. Lesson number 1. Never let a woman have the last word. Now, she'll come round, you'll see.
Where do you think you're off to now?
I'm going back to the ship for some peace and quiet.
James O'Need, and you are being so stubborn and pig-headed.
I know. Always have been, always will be.